Well, it is actually raining here, so
Yeah.
What? You lucky bastard.
it was a nice sunny day, but now it's stormy more.
Yeah, we were threatened with a thunderstorm earlier. There were some clouds, and we had some rumble of thunder, but there's no rain, and now it's just really, really hot again.
That's the way it usually goes, isn't it? You have some thunderclouds and some banging, and it gives you false hope that it might be a rain shower, but it just adds to the humidity, so the heat is even worse.
Oh yeah,
Hot weather for hot people.
Oh yes.
and I am very hot.
That's what I said.
I'm dripping with hot.
You're so hot, it's leaking out.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that the day I move into a new workshop, one of the first priorities will be to put out a heat pump up on the wall before all the French cleats steal all the wall space.
Yeah,
And,
build it around that.
Yeah, because then that will keep it at a low, steady temperature in the wintertime, so you don't freeze your nipples off. And then in the summertime, you have the possibility of air condition. The 2 days a year you need it in Norway, of course. So
Doesn't a
Or
heat
maybe
pump
one of
go
the-
on the outside of a building?
One part on the outside, one part on the inside.
Right,
That's
yeah.
usually the thing.
Okay.
Maybe we should look into one of those ceiling-mounted ones, have it in the middle of the room instead. But maybe those are more expensive. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't looked into that.
Can you combine it with an air filtration system?
I mean, you could, but I don't think the fan is.
I mean, the fan needs some kind of filtration. Otherwise, it's gonna be the filter, whether you want it or not.
Because that's the problem with the one we have inside. I mean, if you think it doesn't work as good as it used to be, then yeah, pop the filter off and run it through the shower and then pop it back in, and that usually helps quite a lot.
Yeah, so you should probably have something extra filtery for the dust.
All the filters. Filter everything. Filter it twice.
Yeah, both in and out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What's that song again of Eagles? Once you check in, you never leave. That's gonna be my philosophy to dust handling, I'm guessing.
Close enough.
Yeah. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. That's the way.
That's the correct one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome to Haavard, California.
Yes. That's a nice wordplay on Hoover, actually. Yeah, that's I think we have a cover song coming on. Weird Al, you better watch out.
Oh God, I'm tired. If I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy street tonight. It's gonna be like a stand-up for toddlers. You just have to mention the word fart, and the crowd goes wild. So that set the standard then for episode 141 of the Make Crude Mistakes podcast with KJ from Crude But Efficient, Howard from Behind the Mistake, and Phil from Phil Makes Things. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Another week. A new season. We did not mention that in the last episode, but season 14.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, seasons doesn't really matter if you don't take a break between seasons. So yeah.
No, it took a whole week between seasons.
I mean, it's like soccer, isn't it? I mean, yes, they do have a break between seasons, but then you have this league and that league, and they overlap. So it's like there's always a game, always.
Yeah.
There's always sports ball on somewhere.
Exactly.
So Phil, you made your giveaway video.
I did. Yes.
Did you
Have
also give
you
away?
I also gave
exactly?
away. Yeah. And it was won by a Mr. Slick Digby.
That's a really good name.
Great name. Something tells me it's not his real name.
Oh, I
But
hope
In
it
my world, it is.
is. Yes.
yeah, Slick Digby, who lives in the northern half of the United Kingdom, will be receiving a big box O stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's about it, really. Yeah.
I will congratulate you. It was a wise choice to just pick one
Mm.
and send all that stuff there. You could have probably broken it up into, let's say, 20. I mean, that would have been a reasonable number to think of, but one is also good.
I did consider breaking it up into like a first, second, and third, but then how do you even judge a first, second, and third place? How? Yeah, because you can't split it up sort of like equally or have duplicates of some stuff, and one, you get everybody gets one thing, and then other winners get one thing plus something else. So yes, just to make my life easier, one winner takes everything. So that was that. And not that it really matters. That video is doing abysmally. It is 10 out of 10. Boss with the
Yeah.
pile. But it doesn't really. I mean, I'll probably leave it up for another few days and then I'll just make it private or just delete it entirely because it doesn't
Yeah.
need to be part of the canon.
Ooh,
The oeuvre.
that,
I mean,
that
you could make it private, and then you can make a comment to put a link on the ones where you announce the giveaway. If you want continuity, that's not a word, but you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. That's a good
But
idea.
otherwise, just
I'm going to do
just
that.
remove it.
Yeah, because it's not a build video. It's not
No.
nothing. So it needs to be. But no, that's a good idea. I'm going to scribble that down in my notebook.
But if you put it on private, then it will still show up in your list, because all my YouTube videos are very much one-to-one with my sorting system in my folders, where they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the beginning. So if I delete a video, it's very hard when I like which one did I not back up or transfer, and then if those lists need to be. I can never delete anything, but yeah, privatize them. That's an option.
And you're slowly creeping up to 5K.
Nearly there. I am 20 away.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
That's
nothing.
almost
That
nothing.
can be a year to 10, 15. Who knows? But I mean, yes,
I know.
it's close.
5 minutes to 5 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I very tentatively, because I know that Reddit can be a vicious place. Although the JBOD video has been out for like 3 or 4 weeks at this point, I stuck it on the Tom Sachs subreddit. Sort of slightly wincing of either this is going to go very well and be very well received, or I'm just going to get an absolute slagging. So far, it's going quite well. Whether that's turned into any subscribers, I don't know.
Do you have to be a member, or do you have to have an account on Reddit to be able to do that? I'm guessing yes.
Yes.
All right. So then I'll wait for a couple of weeks and do the same, and then it will be as I had that idea all by myself.
Nice.
Yeah, because you also had a video out, or
I did.
the
Orbit
Orbit.
video.
The Orbit. I'm pleased with it. I mean, even the thumbnail, length, everything. It's one of the better ones. and
Yeah.
it do better than it does better than the last video. But yeah, last time I checked, 167 views, so it's not like it's exploding. But
It's something at least.
I gained back 2 subscribers, so I am now one down from where I was 3 weeks ago. So usually I lose subscribers when posting a video. This time I actually gained 2, which is nice. And I logged on to the YouTube studio page, and ooh, something is different. Did it change something? Was there an upgrade? No. I got my first member, and that means that the community tab looks a bit different. So I
Ooh.
don't,
Ooh.
and I forgot about that. I set that up and forgot it. So I have like 3 tier, and then I was in and reading what do I actually have to deliver now? Luckily, on the first tier, there is nothing except you get cred for being a member. But on part tier 2, I think I promised early previews of videos. That means that I need to release them to the members first. I mean, it's not an issue because there is no tier 2 yet. And on tier 3, I was I'm promising, I think, is something exclusive Hellcorder content, which is boxed away indefinitely at this point. So I need to delete that one or change the, or if you, I mean, I might send you some physical Hellcorder parts for that tier because I have a box of spares that I might never use.
Just release a really special edit of the Christmas song.
Yeah.
But how does that work? Can you make your video available only for members? Is that one of the you get that as an option
Yeah.
now?
Yep.
Only for
Hmm.
members first, and then you can set a date, I think, for when it's going to be open for everyone else.
Hmm.
Might
Or
have
you,
to do
you can
that.
keep it as a members only indefinitely. Yes.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen. I understand it. It's at least a couple of YouTube channels that has like this is a members only because we spent a lot of money on this production and whatnot, and it's annoying because I don't want to be a member of those channels, but I would very much like to see the videos. So it's like a catch 22. I think it's good enough that I want to watch it, but I'm still a cheapskate.
I mean, you are some channels you are on that fence that it is really good, but not that good.
Yeah, and the thing that I feel saves me in this regard, there are channel that like, oh hell yeah, I'm paying for this. This is so worth it. So I'd like to support these people. So I do have within me the passion and the what do you call it, the possibility, the capability of actually paying for stuff if I really want it. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, apparently you have to fit a very special mold. But then let's not talk about that. Your, I think the orbit was really good. I don't know if I was distracted watching it, but the top part there were some one like a
Great.
filter grate
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you. Or in one box or a little tray or something like that.
Yeah.
What
The great was to let heat out because we all know those LED bulbs generate a lot of heat that you need to dissipate. No, it was just to look cool, and then there was a countersunk, like yeah, it's basically where you can put coins and
Oh yeah.
bits and bobs and screws when you're working, but it will never be used as such. And the only purpose it has now is that I can mount the light switch so that it doesn't protrude over the top, because then I wouldn't be able to place it under the table where it's intended to go. So
Ah, multifunctional in
yeah,
that sense.
no,
For light switches and collecting dust.
yes, and of course I went for 220 volts to begin with, and the plan was that I could then hook it up to the mains so that when I turn the light on, the light also turns on in the cart, which is a nice feature because it is giving a good light where it's positioned. But when I went battery mode, that is not an option. Or I could. It's more fiffafery with the
Yeah.
electronics to make it radio controlled. But it's doable. But yeah, it doesn't need to be. But it's too nice, really, to be put under the bench. I would like to keep it out so I can look at it. And I also thought my next build is also going to be some storage for boxes. And then should I do the same style, or should I just do a style that fits more with the rest of the workshop? I haven't really decided. Also,
I mean,
because the my next storage build is most likely going to be temporary until I get a bigger place. But as we all know, there is nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. So once I build it, it will probably live for 10 years, plus minus. So I could make a design that I like and then still call it temporary.
I guess the big question is, do you want to have this aesthetic look on your workshop going forward, slowly morphing piece by piece into something that fits this style?
No, that will never happen. But I can't really figure out any other style that I want either. So and this worked, and I have the paint. I bought. They only sold a huge can of paint, so I have a lot of white paint to use. So why not use it? Now my biggest issue is that I saw a guy using these aluminum extrusion, the like the rat rig system that you build frames for CNCs and 3D printers and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is, I really want to build a shelf system out of that because I think it looks cool. But it is like a metal exoskeleton, so it collects a lot of dust and there's a lot of see through. So I thought maybe I should just do it in plywood. But the thing is that one would imagine that building it in plywood would be cheaper. But I did the maths on it, and actually buying those aluminum extrusions, it might be 20, 30 pounds more expensive than the plywood route, but not much more than that. And of course, if I'm building a temporary solution, then it's very easy to repurpose those aluminium parts and corner pieces and the connectors and everything to other projects later on. But if I'm building it in plywood and gluing and doing a decent job of that, it's harder to repurpose that for something else later.
Yeah.
But then again, I have some weeks to think about that, so I don't have to decide yet.
I was going to ask you about your Orbit box. You reuse something from with it had a BRIO sticker on it.
Yeah.
Was that some sort of BRIO display stand you got from somewhere, or was it like a piece of kids' furniture? Because I remember BRIO from when I was a kid, and I saw that logo and had this instant pang of nostalgia, and thought, I really hope you reapplied that sticker somewhere on it.
I did. I peeled it off very gingerly, and it's back on the
Nice.
side. I cleaned it up and found some translucent double-sided tape and put it back on where it belongs. Did not film putting it back on though. It should have been a part of the video. No, I found it at the recycling plant. It was 14 millimeter, very decent plywood, put together with dowels. So no glue, no screws. So it was like a easy tap with a rubber mallet, and it came apart very easily. And yeah, I think it's at least in Norway, BRIO that they made like you have the wooden toys and so they obviously had some furniture pieces or something that they probably sold towards schools and so on, so you could buy sets of things. And then so once I saw it, I like, oh, you're coming home with me. So took it home and flat packed it, and I've been sitting on it for a year and a half, basically.
Yeah, good plywood never gets left behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
BRIO is a Swedish wooden toy company started in 1884, for those who want to know.
Oh.
You Googled that, didn't you?
No, this is something every Swede knows. I in no way had my phone in my hand when I said that. But I mean, it's another four-syllable wooden thing that I feel I'm a bit more proud of than IKEA for being Swedish.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we definitely had BRIO over here a long time before we had IKEA, or IKEA, as apparently we're supposed to call it.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter.
It
They
doesn't
don't care
matter.
as long as you pay.
Exactly. As long as you buy their ethically sourced wood products. Oh, there's a whole rabbit hole we could go down about chain of custody, but it's far too hot for that sort of nonsense. I can't.
And IKEA, they just pretend that all the wardrobes and the knickknacks just materialize in the stores magically as well, because you never see a truck with IKEA on it, because they don't want anyone talking about their carbon emission footprint.
That's a valid point. That I never seen a truck with IKEA on, except the rental cars that they have that you can lend
Yes.
for 3 hours. Those have the small IKEA logo on it.
But big lorries, nope. It's like they're transporting narcotics or explosives or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's
Maybe-
just a shitload of bookcases.
Maybe that is it. I mean, the furniture building business, that's just a front. It's like the comrade just sat down. All right, I got a shitload of cocaine from Bolivia. Okay, casinos have been done. What about laundromats? That's been done. Bookkeeping, no.
What if we make the tables hollow and we can put cocaine in them?
Yes.
That's why they're hollow.
Yeah, and then no, this is just for adding weight to it, to give it a sturdy feel, because you're making it of ethically sourced cardboard. Yes, yes. I think we're onto something. So if you if there is no episode 142 of this podcast, then please call Interpol, because we have touched upon something that should have been left alone.
We've just busted this thing wide open. Making and true crime.
Yeah.
Making true crime.
You just stick the true crime tag on this episode so it gets filtered into people's true crime podcast listings. Our numbers are just going to skyrocket.
I'm doing the,
down again.
I'm doing the edit this week, and I actually put the metadata into all the episodes. So, but instead of comedy podcast, I'll put in true crime on this one and see if it makes any difference. Yeah,
be an interesting experiment. Yeah,
we can even if we just say true crime a couple more times, we can even add it in the title with good conscience, and then see if that helps.
This is probably a true crime with absolutely no evidence to substantiate that fact.
IKEA, the true crime story. I mean, you heard it here first.
And then International network of delivery systems, hollow furniture. It's got to be.
Yeah, and then you have the Swedes. Like they're sailing that neutrality flag for what it's worth since 1933. It's like nobody expects them, right? They've been shipping things with trains from south to north all these years. Nobody bat an eye, and now it's cocaine.
Nobody expects the Swedish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
a
sad thing to imagine. The Swedish
something else an Inquisition, but nobody expects the Swedish, meatballs to be laced with cocaine. But then I got Midsummer's Eve. see all the Swedes jumping around a flowery phallus symbol, making frog sounds. I mean, the cocaine story doesn't sound too far fetched now, does it?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
So they say.
Speaking of Sweden, that reminds me of something I saw on the news a long, long, long time ago. Yeah, back in the good old black and white days before the internet. And if you wanted to get your hands on some spicy material to look at, you could either find a magazine in a railway siding, or there were video shops that sold, special stuff. And the police, no, was it the police or was it the Coast Guard or the Transport Police, had busted a huge consignment of what at the time was considered illegal Swedish pornography. And I have this distinct memory of this police officer, in uniform, saying directly to the interviewer, "Of course, we had to view the material to see what we were working with."
But of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh,
All these
reminds me.
videotapes have got to go home with you, lads, and just see what's on them.
Yeah, I have to do a thorough review. We can't risk false charges. That's an abomination. So we better do our due diligence.
Yeah. And watch each and every one of them.
I think I don't remember what country it was, but you had that reporter who was covering that the National Guard or something set fire to tens of tons of like various drugs, and he was standing there, and the smoke was everywhere, and like, and he was more and more giggly the further he was a bit too close. I guess it was the cameraman. Oh, you need to go. You're too close to the lens. Go further back. Go further back.
There's secondhand smoke going on. Oh, what a fun diversion!
Oh yes. So how about you then, KJ? I've seen you been doing some garden-related making, at least.
Yes. This weekend I was out playing with the digger again, completing the flower bed. I started a bit last week, but now I had to do it, dig underneath the pergola. So I had to take the cab off the digger, because it wouldn't fit under there otherwise. But it was kind of fun. You had to be a little careful. I was close at some points, but I never knocked the wood, so that was good. But one time I snagged a really big root and really gave it all the machine got, which made it. When you grab something with an arm that strong and you try to lift it and it won't budge, the machine budges. So I almost hit my head on the ceiling of the pergola, which felt, yeah. Okay, let's leave that one.
It makes you a bit more careful when you realize that your head just became the roll bar.
Exactly. Maybe I should be wearing a hard hat. Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe if you've taken the cab off, a hard hat might be. Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? At what point does the hard hat just become pointless?
Yeah, but
when
you
are falls on top of you.
I had a previous colleague who had a theory there, and I'm 90% behind him. Also because he was longer than me, but we had to wear hard hats in my previous job at shipyard inspection and so on, and you always knocked your head.
Yeah.
But his theory was that you have a sense of where your head is. So he thought that if he hadn't had the helmet, he wouldn't bump his head as much, because you wouldn't have that 10 centimeter extra that the helmet builds. And also having a helmet is like, you're not as careful and mindful about your surroundings. But if you drop the helmet, you will bump your head less often. And when you do it's more learning power to that hit than when it's just is like on the helmet. And I
Yeah,
think it's onto something.
but there are those single occasions when the hard hat actually does its job, and those times are really good to have it.
That's true. That's true.
And I mean, if you just wear it often, and I really don't like wearing a hard hat on site. I try to avoid it if I can. But I mean, if you wear some kind of security thing and safety thing, and becomes part of your day. I mean, it's like the steel-toed boots I wear at work when I'm on a site visit. I mean, I use them because I have to kick on the door sometimes because they are overpressured. Uh, the sites where I go to, so you have to push the door in. So that's a good kick to actually make the key turn around. So they are quite worn out in the front, and also when I'm lifting a hatch in the street, I usually lift it a bit and then rest it on my steel-toed boot to change the grip, so I can continue to lift it and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if I wouldn't be wearing those, my toes would be rather blue because it's. I mean, I've been doing this for 17 years, so it's.
What I did, I mean, wearing a helmet became second nature. But I also got a climbing helmet because we also did climbing inspections, and those are more comfortable to wear.
Yeah,
Um, but then, of course, working in the oil and gas and maritime industry, you also came across that some of the brands they make hard hats that look like cowboy hats because you can't get an oil worker in Texas to wear anything than a hat. So that was an option, but that feels a bit out of place in Norway. But if you could get that traditional yellow fisherman's hat that I have, you could probably get that as a hard hat. But then a few years ago, I heard a radio program, and this will not translate very well to English, but I live in the part of Norway with the largest community of Sikhs. And in Norway, safety, that's translated sikkerhet. So the first part of that word is the same as Sikh. So they interviewed a Sikh guy, and he said, like, I would like to sell my own brand of safety equipment. And translated, it would say, I would call it Sikh safety equipment. And then, of course, because they wear that, I'm not sure if it's called a turban, but it's that headpiece with all the cloth that is wound, and they need to wear it. And you actually get those with integrated hard hat function, so you can actually wear it.
a safety turban.
Yeah,
That's
safety
brilliant.
turban. And that got me thinking, though. I mean, it's probably getting close to 10 years since I worn a hard hat in my work. So probably a lot of things have happened. So if this would have been the half point, I would have gone into searching cool hard hat alternatives, and then what would I choose? Because I am also now then 10 years older and give 10 years less of fucks. So, all right, you want me to wear a hard hat? I'll wear a hard hat. I know you now
Fine.
get caps, like for like bicycle helmets. Probably not CE approved, but they'll take a branch or two.
Well, there's those again. It's not the half pint, so we can't Google it. It is forbidden.
Yes.
Who made that rule?
The
I don't
code
know.
of the half pint.
Yeah, strictly verboten. I remember years ago on like Tomorrow's World, they were going on about this brand new material. I think it's called is it D30 maybe, which is kind of like a non-Newtonian putty
Yeah.
that you make a hat out of. So it's flexible and fairly lightweight, but if you strike it swiftly, it becomes very hard and is effectively a hard hat.
Yeah.
Isn't that like walking around with a pudding on your head?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that better?
But I mean, if you
Debatable.
could, you you could get your aunt to knit you a beanie then, and you just line it with that. So you could be like the kids with the baggy pants and the long t-shirt and the beanie, but you could still be safety proficient. Now you also get the safety shoes that look like sneakers, so you could look very much street but still be safety
Yeah,
precautious.
and you can get the composite toe caps as well, which are a lot lighter and more comfortable.
Yeah.
Or you can just decorate it. I mean, I took after Prop Shop Berlin and made a ladybug hard hat, which I
Nice.
Yeah.
actually wore on site a couple of times. Give
I'm
give
wondering.
quite a looks.
Until you got told to take it off and get a yellow one.
It took me a few years because it hasn't been as much of a thing on Norwegian shipyards, but some of them have started to take that on. That if you are like management office personnel, inspectors or whatnot, you have the white helmets. If you're a foreman, you have the blue ones. And then, of course, some of the welders, I think, went for black ones. And the yellow ones are usually the guests or people in training or something that have no clue what they're doing there. So,
Yeah.
but what category the ladybug would be in? It's a lady
Child.
supreme. It's a
Child on site.
toddler in
Which is
disguise. Yes.
which is kind of true. So yeah.
A very, very tall child.
Yeah. Wearing his Fjellraven Konken backpack. That's
Oh, a fantastic pronunciation of Fall Raven, as we call him over here.
following. That's it. That's not the worst translation of anything I've heard. Yeah.
Could be worse.
Wow. Yeah, we like to anglicize things we don't understand.
Like
I'd say.
everything.
Yeah,
The rest of the world.
exactly. I'd say it's a foreign language.
Here's the Oxford Dictionary. Read it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've been working on my Maker Central video as well. I finished the rough edit, and then I thought I should just make an off the cuff voiceover for it. It'll be fine. So I tried to do that yesterday, and it was so bad. I mean, I tried to make it work, and it was so bad. So I had to delete it, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna write a script or whatever, because that voiceover did not work. I can't
Yeah.
just speak to a microphone. I need someone to perform to. I can't just
I
talk
went
over a
to
video.
Maker Central and it was fun, and I saw lots of my friends.
You very close. You don't. I'm not gonna admit to how close you were on that.
I am since I'm going away on Thursday, that means that tomorrow I have to do the edit of the podcast. If not, I would actually volunteer to just send me the video. I'll give you a voiceover. And then of course you could choose if you want to keep it or not.
I know. I kind of like the anarchy idea. You send the video, sort of like do the voiceover. So I'll do the voiceover and then publish it.
It would be fun with a voiceover someone who wasn't even there and no clue what it's all about.
And now we're walking towards something. There's some people there. They're doing something with wood.
Yeah, I don't
That's
remember
fun.
what maker it was, but I really enjoyed the video because he had his wife do the voiceover. And she had no insight in what he was building or what he do for a living or whatnot. So she was like commenting like, all right, so he's melting some plastic. Okay. No, that was not something he was. No, that was trash. Okay, we're back at the table, and she was doing live commentary, and it was hilarious. And then, of
She
course,
was really good at it.
yeah, and I watched some of his other videos, and those were basically boring in comparison. So I saw the one greatest of his videos, and then everything bleaked in comparison. Sadly enough,
I think that was Peter Brown.
maybe
Is it Peter Brown? Peter Brown?
Not recently. But
No,
might
this
be
was
earlier.
this would have been some years ago.
Yeah, wasn't this the guy who did the spring-loaded bicycle seat and carve arms holding the phone to test.
It might be. For I remember the video. I think was an electrical barbecue blower or something out of scraps. So it was very like slapdash, scrappy challenge kind of a build.
Oh yeah.
But that is also, I think, it's stuff made here. He doesn't publish videos very often because he spent a lot of time in programming and engineering. He's a brilliant guy. But the deadpan commentary of his wife, she just spent a few seconds in the first videos and people like, we want more of your wife. And then he realized that, all right, I'm spending months on programming and making these attractions, and people really like the 20 last second where my wife comes in and like, you spent half a year on that, and then just leave. So, but I mean, you have to give people what they want. So she has been in more and more of his videos, and it's worked. So it's brilliant.
I've scribbled it down. We'll Google it in the half point.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Are we ripe for half pint territory? Maybe.
Well, have either of you done anything, any making wise this last week other than publishing a video?
Yes.
And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yes. I was. Do you want to go first, Phil, or should I?
Well, I'll mute myself while that dog stops barking, and I've got to have the windows open because it's so damn hot in here.
Oh yeah, you do that. I have been doing a lot of making. So much, in fact, that I've made a bullet point on the list on the screen here where it says less making but more making.
Okay.
Yes, yesterday I went out in the garden annex and read for an hour straight in 1982. And to be able to do that, I needed to make a stand, a Christmas tree foot, if you will, for the infrared heater that I got from my mother because she had one that she didn't use in her cabin. So it's like, with that deadline, I want to read a book. I want to make a cup of tea before it's too late. I need to bash this together. So I did. That is not anything that is filmed, will never be filmed. And I've been doing a lot of gardening work, bought a lot of new shrubbery and whatnot, and I need to finish not the gateway, but the gangway from last year, which is at 95%. Need to arrange for some communal work to scrape down and wash the house for painting. So I'm going to do a lot of making, but I realized I'm going to do a stunt this summer in getting a lot of shit done around the house. That is not movie making really valuable. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to post a video in June. And then I'm going to have a vacation entire of July. So then I might have ordered enough boxes to do the next box cart build. So we'll see. So I might spend the time writing a new philosophical intro to the next boxy video.
Nice. I got a dispatch notification today that my Euro crates have been dispatched and will be delivered within 7 to 10 working days. I paid £15 delivery, and it's going to take a week or 10 days.
Yeah.
And they're coming from Macclesfield, which to you will mean nothing, but it's in Britain, and Britain's not big.
That's the thing. When I ordered my boxes, not Eurocrates, but the same company make Eurocrates as well, and of course it's a German company, so Ordnung must sign. So we have now shipped. They are on their way. They are packaged. Here is the contents. Please verify that this is correct and give us swiftly notice if there is a discrepancy. And like, and then I get a message from Post Nord. We have registered a package. No, fuck me. And then after a week, they sent me an email. How pleased was you with your purchase? And I sent them a bit of a snarky email, like, I could answer this, but I haven't received said goods yet. And to be frankly, I'm not that optimistic since you've chosen to use Post Nord, which is a bit of a hit and miss here in Scandinavia. And I think it took like 20 minutes, half an hour, or something, ridiculously short after I sent that email. I got an update from PostNord. Your package will be delivered tomorrow. So I think the Germans have given them a call. So yeah, so I'm
No,
going to
you
do that.
listen here. Yeah. So crates are on the way. I mean, I haven't done a lot of making this week because, well, it's just been it's too hot. I managed to get into the garage across the weekend. I painted some bits and pieces that I wanted to paint. I found a little tray which was destined for something else, but which I never actually got around to doing. So I decided I'm going to make like a little display case for some slate, which is some like really a little piece of really, really colourful slate that we picked up when we were on holiday a couple of years ago. And I just want to make a little display case and like a little plaque that goes underneath it, which where we went and the year we went. And I found some old cork boards, which I was going to throw away, like pin boards. But actually, I thought there's nothing really wrong with these. I'm just going to paint the frames because they're a bit tatty. So the benefits of a heat wave, of course, is primer goes off in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You paint it on, and by the time you've painted one side, you go to I can't pick it up because it's wet paint. Oh no, actually it's dry. That's fine. So that's good. I've been throwing more stuff away. I found buried deep in the very back corner of the garage my another crate full of my old project books from when I was at university. And I was looking through them and thinking, not only is this photography terrible, also I've been moving this box of old workbooks around with me for almost 30 years now. Why am I keeping them? So I went through every workbook and I tore out some interesting pages. And today I dumped all the rest in the skip at work. But I was watching Nelferch. I'll put a link in the chat. Her new video, part of which was her looking at some of her old project books and how she'd done some like Japanese 4-hole binding. So I think I might do that with them. These pages that I've torn out.
Okay.
Might just bind them into a little book. So I've gone from a crate of books down to a stack of paper about, 5-10 centimeters wide.
A reasonable nostalgia pile.
Yeah, exactly. I've just keep the good stuff and bin all the rest.
That's a good idea, though, because I've struggled a bit. Of course, when we cleaned out my dad's house, I took a lot of the old books that he has kept, like English and electronics from when he was a kid in the 60s. And these are really nice looking old books, but I realized I haven't read them in 44 years. And when I look at them, if there's anything I need on the subject, there is probably a 10-minute video by a brilliant Indian that covers the entire syllabus of that book. So there is no point. So yes, I've thrown away some of them, but I still have a small pile just for the aesthetics. But yeah, if I could do some artsy with them, like a display, that would be cool, actually.
Yeah. They're probably best for the aesthetic parts.
Yeah. So I've got a whole binder full of technical theory notes, and it's like, yeah, that's great. But I can just look all this shit up online now.
Yeah.
Should I ever want to know, the color spectrum chart or flash guide numbers, which I probably will never want to look up again. I say that next week I'll probably need to know them. But I wouldn't go digging through a technical theory notebook I wrote in the 90s to find it. I would just search for it.
Yeah, it was a time when that was good to have, but that time is past.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the searchable thing is one thing, but of course the notes, at least the notes that I've written, was as a supplement to the knowledge I have just gained at that point. And that knowledge is not fresh anymore. So those nodes will probably seem a bit fragmented today. And the pegs that I could put them on, they are worn off into knobs over the years. So.
And can you trust that asshole with knowing what he's talking about?
No, I wouldn't trust myself longer than I could throw me, and that distance is getting shorter by the day.
I've actually also been throwing away some stuff because I was harvesting rhubarb today, and I thought, wait a minute, don't I have some in the freezer? So I dig down in the bottom of the freezer, and I found some that was 5 years old. So I tossed that out and replaced it with new instead. And also found some berries that were 10 years old. Like we will not do anything with these. So now I have some space in the freezer.
So in 5 years, you'll be throwing away this year's crop.
Exactly.
Maybe, but I will do my very, very best to make at least some rhubarb crumble somewhere in the autumn, that sort of thing.
Oh, rhubarb crumble.
But the Doomsday Prepper community, they salute you, because that is one of their Achilles heels, is that they stock up on shit, but they don't keep inventory and use or throw away the things that are closing to expiry dates and refill it, so that you actually have a 5-year cycle on your freezer. That's commemorable, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the berries we use the most, the blueberries, the raspberries, strawberries, and lingonberries, those are in steady cycles. So those never get more than like maybe 1 year old. But the less used commodities, those, you need to do that manually, so to say.
Yeah.
Dingleberries, very rarely used.
Steady supply, but not much demand. That's weird how that works.
That's not a jam I would try.
And on that note, welcome to this week's Half Pint.
Thank God we're in the half pint.
Oh, yeah, I felt the transition.